Have you ever felt left out, or like life wasn't fair? Well, there once was a boy whose own brothers sold him as a slave, and God still turned it into something amazing. This is the story of Joseph, the boy with the colorful coat and the unshakable faith. Long ago in the land of Canaan lived Jacob, who had 12 sons, but his favorite was Joseph, a kind young man who loved God. Jacob gave Joseph a beautiful coat of many colors that shimmered in the sun. Joseph's brothers grew jealous. Why does father love him more? They grumbled. Then one morning, Joseph ran to them with bright eyes. Brothers, I had a dream. We were tying up bundles of grain, and all your bundles bowed down to mine. The brothers grew angry. You think you'll be king over us? Soon Joseph had another dream. The sun, moon, and 11 stars bowed down to me. His brothers didn't like that one bit, but Jacob quietly wondered if God had something special planned. One day, Jacob sent Joseph to check on his brothers in the fields. When they saw him coming, wearing that bright coat, anger filled their hearts. "Here comes the dreamer," one whispered. "Let's get rid of him," said another. Reuben, the oldest, said, "No, don't hurt him. Let's just throw him in that pit." So they took off his coat and tossed him into a dark, empty hole. Later, travelers on camels passed by on their way to Egypt. Judah said, "Let's sell Joseph to them." The brothers sold Joseph for 20 silver coins. Then they dipped his coat in goat's blood and took it to Jacob. "My son has been killed by a wild animal," Jacob cried. Poor Jacob wept for days. In Egypt, Joseph was sold to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, the king. Joseph worked hard and did everything faithfully. God was with him, and soon Potiphar trusted him with his whole house. But one day, Potiphar's wife told a lie about Joseph, and he was thrown into prison, even though he had done nothing wrong. Still, Joseph never lost hope. In prison, he helped others and interpreted dreams for 2 of Pharaoh's servants. One of them, the cupbearer, promised to remember Joseph, but he forgot. 2 years passed. Then Pharaoh had strange dreams. 7 fat cows eaten by 7 skinny cows, and 7 healthy ears of grain swallowed by 7 thin ones. No one could explain them, until the cupbearer remembered Joseph. "Pharaoh, there's a man in prison who can understand dreams." Joseph was brought before Pharaoh. Pharaoh said, "I hear you can tell dreams." Joseph replied, "I can't, but God can." Joseph explained that the dreams meant 7 good years of plenty, then 7 years of famine. He advised Pharaoh to store food during the good years. Pharaoh said, "God is with you, Joseph. You shall be ruler of all Egypt." From a prisoner to a prince, God was guiding Joseph's life. The famine spread across the land. People everywhere came to Egypt for food, and among them were Joseph's brothers. They bowed before him, just like in his dream, but they didn't recognize him. "These are my brothers," Joseph thought. "Do they still have good hearts?" Joseph tested them, asking about their youngest brother Benjamin and their father Jacob. When they showed kindness and love for one another, Joseph could not hold back his tears. He cried out, "I am Joseph, your brother, the one you sold into Egypt." His brothers were shocked. "Joseph, we are so sorry," they said. Joseph answered, "Don't be afraid. You meant to harm me, but God used it for good, to save many lives." Joseph forgave his brothers completely. He invited them and their father Jacob to live in Egypt, in a peaceful land called Goshen. When Jacob saw Joseph, he cried tears of joy. "And my son, I thought I'd never see you again." Joseph smiled and said, "God turned our pain into blessing." Joseph cared for his family for the rest of his life. Joseph's life teaches us something very special. Even when people hurt us, even when life feels unfair, God never leaves us. He can take what's bad and make something beautiful out of it. So when you face hard days, remember Joseph. Keep trusting God's plan, because God's plan never fails.